ROVAN. I had this out a while back and it was running okay to start with, but then it started running really bad all of a sudden. Well, it would run okay on throttle, but if you let go of the throttle and you wanted it to tick over or do whatnot else, it wouldn't have it. So let's see if we can work it out. I've got no tools with me. All I've got is a plug, spanner, a wire brush and a screwdriver. That's all I've got with me. So we'll see. A bit of a primage. Hopefully it hasn't sucked in any dust, because that's what killed it before. Sucking in a bit of dust. Might not need it, it's quite hot today. Quite loud, this one. It's a lot louder than the other ones. I've never been moaned at, never ever been moaned at, but if I'm going to be moaned at, this will be the one I get moaned at about. I mean, a lot of people do say that these are loud, and I always defend them. I always defend them and say they're not that bad, but they are loud. Sound a bit like a motocross bike. These ROVAN engines are known for being a bit chocolatey. This one's freshly rebuilt, kind of. .30.5cc where it was 29. The 29cc one blew up. Well, it didn't blow up. It sucked in a load of dust, what killed it. Seems to be running alright now though. I was a little bit concerned about it because of the way the need to sort that steering out. Because of the way it was running last time I had it out, it didn't want to tick over and it didn't like low RPMs after about half an hour of running. But this time it seems to be alright so far. Ticking over nicely. Sounds really nice. Could go a little bit lower maybe, but that is ticking over nicely. As far as the smoke goes, I mix a lot of oil with my petrol. I like a lot of smoke. A lot of people try to get rid of the smoke, but I like a lot of smoke. It's just what I like. And the more oil the better. Not really, because too much can be a problem, but it's too much is better than not enough, put it that way. Loves a wheelie. I very rarely run this on grass. Normally on dust, loose surfaces, so normally the wheels spin before it wheelies, but now, because it's gripping on this grass, loves a wheelie. It's got those 10mm shocks on it, which I put on, but because I hang that buggy on the wall in the garage, it's hung on the wall, and the old shocks leaked from the piston seals, or the rod seals, the piston seals really, whereas these ones have leaked out the top where it's hung on the wall. So obviously the seal around the top isn't very good, and I've noticed where I hang it on the wall, there's like a puddle of oil underneath it near the wall. And when I looked, I thought, where's that puddle of oil come from? And when I looked, it had all run down the chassis from the front shocks, and a bit of it run on the axles from the rear shocks that's come out the shocks. So at the moment, there's not a lot of oil left in those shocks. So I will rectify that, probably never. Let's play around. You know, I'm probably going to ask me or wondering, what ratio of oil do I put in the petrol? Well, I don't know, because I don't measure it. I've been mixing two-stroke petrol for 30 odd years. You know, probably since I was about 5. So I just pour it in. I know when it's enough, and then I go a bit more. Simple as that. What you don't want to do is go, here we go. Now we've got that problem arise. This is what it was doing before when I had it out. So now we need to find out why it's doing this all of a sudden. Is it getting too hot perhaps? Maybe there's a load of leaves or dust or something stuck around them fins, but it doesn't look like there is. So why, after a certain amount of running, does it decide it doesn't want to tick over? That's what we've got to work out. Yeah, see? That's what we need to work out. Now, I think I played around with the tick over screw last time. It didn't do a lot. Nah. Could be that it's too rich on the low end, or it could be that it's too lean. But I'm going to richen it up. No, I won't actually. I lied. I'm going to lean it on the low end and see if that brings it up, because it should do. That's why. Spark plug's loose. Look at that. Look at that. Spark plug's loose. That's probably why it's decided it doesn't want to run very well. Let's do that up. That was loose as well. Alright. You've got to remember, on these ROVAN engines, the threads that the plug threads into on the head, very weak threads. They're not strong threads at all. So whereas you would normally do a plug up relatively tight, on these ones be very careful. That's definitely better now the plug's tight again. Gained a bit more power as well. Oh, gone down again. She's gone down, John. Look at the weather. Alright, we've got some clouds in the sky, but it ain't awful today. It's quite warm. I've got a jumper on. I don't know why, because I'm actually sweating. I'm actually sweating today. It's gorgeous. And this Rovan, it does, although it's quite temperamental, it does put a smile on my face, but you can't beat an FG. Right, is that loose again? No, that's not loose again. Right. Alright, we'll put that screw in another nuts. That's running quite nice now. Ticking over alright. To me, a tick over is extremely important. I like a nice tick over. I can sit and listen to an engine tick over for hours. It's not good to let them tick over for hours, but I can do, and I have done in the past. Once I start an engine, I don't like to turn it off, you know. I never turned my car off, my real car, up until they started putting DPFs which block up. I never turned it off. If I went somewhere, it was on until I got out of it. Or even if I got out of it, but if I went to the shop, I'd turn it off. Anyway, there it is, look. Let's have another little play around. I'm not going to push my luck with this, because this isn't where I'd normally run this. There are some houses over there, and there's a nursery over there as well. But this is the closest park that I could come to that I could actually test this in, and the amount of time that I've got today. Like I say, it is a loud buggy, and you have got to be respectful of other people. Nitro cars aren't loud. I'd run a Nitro here all day long, every day. But this one is loud. Literally, in person, I don't know whether it comes across to you on this camera and from your speakers, but it sounds exactly like, actually it sounds really deep. It's like a 125 motocross bike. It does rattle through the airwaves, do you know what I mean? I reckon I can richen that high end a little bit. It sounds a bit lean on the high end now. A bit weak. Oh, that's better. Ah, bit more petrol on the high end. Look at that. Loads more power. That's great. That is brilliant. Love that. That's perfect. I don't know what that is. Dogs over there, be careful they don't come for a chase. Don't want to annoy them. We'll let them pass before we do anything. got the Skittles with me today. Start making our way back, I think. Start making our way back up the field now. There's more dog walkers over there. Don't want to inconvenience them too much. Smells so good with that. It's got two different types of two-stroke oil in it. Don't know what they are, but it's got two different types of two-stroke oil in it, because petrol that I put in it was, when I was out, I ran out of petrol and someone said, "I got some, it's free strimmer or something." So I put it in, but I didn't run it very long. I didn't trust it. I didn't trust it. I don't know what he's mixed it as, so I didn't trust it. So when I got home, I stuffed a load more oil in it. So it's got two different oils in it, but it smells the nuts. The best oil is motor oil, in my opinion. Is it motor? No, Puto oil. It's what I used to use on my bikes, and I use it in this. It smells the nuts. That was the end of that. At least it runs really well now. There we go. A bit of a short run really, but nevertheless I think it was a good one. Worked out. I don't know why I didn't bother to check anything the last time I ran it, when it decided it didn't want to run with low RPMs. I didn't check anything. In fact, I kept running it. I probably ran it for about 10 minutes on full throttle with that plug loose. You know what it's like when you're out and about. You got no, you just think, nah, let's just go. If something's playing up, you just go with it. Keep flat out. Don't worry about it. Sort the problem out later. So, but now we worked it out. Plug's tight, runs really, really well, ticks over really well. Plenty of power. That, believe it or not, it's only like a cc. What, 29 to 30 and a half. That's 1.5 cc's, isn't it? So you gain 1.5 cc. But it does seem like it has actually got more power. You wouldn't think there'd be a lot more power with it, between 29 and 30 and a half cc, but there actually, it seems like there is. It seems to wheelie a lot better and for further than it did before. But that engine was, the original engine was a bit weak. So 30 and a half cc ROVAN engine, Q-SHORTY, absolutely mint. Thanks for watching, you lot. I'll catch you on the next one. And I don't know what's next. Stick around, think about subscribing. Appreciate it if you do, and if you want to become a channel member and really support me, then I appreciate that even more. Cheerio. Well, you know what, I'll tell you something, right? Stinks round here, absolutely stinks. Not only of dog shit everywhere, but also of weed. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. How can, how can people expect any sort of respect when all they'd ever do is smoke weed and drugs and stuff like that? Unbelievable. Another thing I've noticed, maybe it's just me, maybe it's the way I look, but no one talks to me round here. You get the odd people, like a man with a dog. I waved at him, he waved back and he smiled. But quite a lot of people sort of walk past with their dogs. A lot of people with dogs that walk dogs are miserable. Very miserable people, I've found. And I don't mean when I'm out and about with RC cars. I mean, it could be me and my daughter on a bike ride. or walking around the park. People with dogs, always very miserable. And if you say afternoon or morning, they just go, oh. You know what I mean? You do get some that talk back and say hello, you know, but mostly it's, oh, you know, oh, you're not good enough for me, you haven't got a dog and you're walking around, you're not good enough for me, I can't talk to you, sorry. Crazy.